Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 8 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here again to bring you another tip on how to help you create the life you want. Specifically, how to bring more clarity, confidence, creativity into everything you do. Today, I want to talk about the concept of motivation, and specifically the neuroscience of motivation. Those of you who follow my Life from the Top of the Mind philosophy, you know that to me, everything we think and feel and do and say, how we react to others, how others react to us, all has to do with how the brain processes information. So I've created a system that I call Life from the Top of the Mind. It's what I get to go around the world teaching. And I show people how to access their best, especially in difficult situations, by accessing a very specific part of the brain. So how does this apply to motivation? Well, I think we've all had situations where there's something we really wanted to accomplish, but we really just couldn't get ourselves to kind of get into the mode of doing what we need to do to accomplish it. And the reason for that is because the brain was not producing enough dopamine. A long time ago, people thought dopamine was the pleasure hormone, but really it's the anticipation or the motivation hormone. There's a book out there called The Molecule of More that really speaks to that. So basically, when there's something that we really want to do, that triggers the dopamine and we get into it. The problem is, with setting goals, a lot of people want to be the person who has done it versus the person who is doing it. And since the doing it comes first, and sometimes the doing it can take a while, if we're not motivated to do it, we won't get it done. And as a result, things pile up and we just don't accomplish what we want to accomplish. So the key here is to create enough momentum in the doing of the process. How can we enjoy that? How can we look forward to that? That's what triggers the dopamine, and we begin to do the process. And of course, all goals are just a series of step by step by step by step. So what we want to do is to recognize, all right, it's not about the getting it done. If that's not enough to motivate ourselves to doing it, and a lot of times it isn't, then what we want to do is start looking at the process. All right, how can I enjoy this? How can I create this in a way that is enjoyable, or at least something that I'm willing to do? I remember when we first moved into our house, there was this particular room, the big bedroom, that really needed painting. So I said, okay, I'm going to paint the bedroom, Started painting the bedroom, and I started going, whoa, this is a lot bigger job than I thought. And I recognized it was going to pretty much take all day, if not multiple days. So the whole idea of sitting there doing this for, 8, 9 hours wasn't particularly motivating. So what I decided to do, okay, how can I make this enjoyable? I am a person who loves to listen to audiobooks. Way back in the day, they were called books on tape. Now you listen to them in all kinds of ways. So I found one of my favorite audiobooks and started listening to it. And all of a sudden, the time, all of a sudden just kind of flew by because I was enjoying the process. Wasn't particularly enjoying necessarily doing this. I was enjoying getting it done, but it wasn't enough for me to motivate myself to do it. If I could find a way to enjoy the process, that's what triggers the dopamine, and that's what moves us into the process of actually accomplishing the goal by the step process. Now, another thing we can do is to kind of look at breaking it. You've heard this before, break it into smaller chunks. But still, if those smaller chunks are not something we're looking forward to, then we won't produce enough dopamine to really motivate ourselves to do it. And then it becomes the fear of not getting it done. That becomes the motivator. That fear of not getting it done doesn't create anticipation and joy and jumping in. It creates, well, I guess I better. And then we get into it. We kind of resent having to do it and blah, 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 blah. Fear of not getting it done is a lower brain, stress-related, anxiety-related chemical. Adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol for the most part. We want serotonin, endorphins, and dopamine. Those come from the top of the mind. But it's this middle brain, the limbic system, that makes the determination of what kind of chemical to trigger. So what we want to do is to make sure the middle brain is looking at the process in a way that is looking forward to the process as well as getting it done. That means if we need to find a way to enjoy it, that's one thing. But we need to make sure that we are triggering that dopamine to actually move into the process. Probably something we would recommend to someone we love. One of the questions I love to help people ask when they're really wanting to kind of have a clear sense of what to do is, okay, what would you recommend to someone you love? So if one of your kids was having trouble kind of moving into a process, it probably helped him or her find a way to kind of be motivated to do it by enjoying the process. Look and see how this could be some fun in some ways. It's one of the great ways of getting little kids to do it. Make it fun. That's their highest purpose, having fun. So when you can make a process fun, now you've got them engaged in it. Okay, hopefully this is valuable. I love bringing you the videos to you. I want to keep them short. I know we have a lot of stuff to do. So if you're finding this valuable, please hit the like button. If you want my thoughts about how to come to your organization and create a presentation on dealing with difficult people or stress or motivation, all you got to do is go to my website, billcrawfordphd.com, hit the contact button, let me know what you're interested in. Love to talk with you about that. In the meantime, here's to you bringing more clarity, confidence, creativity. And it's that creativity component that gets us going into getting things done, the motivation of getting things done, and to everything in your life. And I look forward to seeing you in the future.